fourth day of Summerween tomorrow, and I need to pick a book because I just finished The Need yesterday or today, but I need a book to start tomorrow off with. So let's see what I get. It'd be nice to get like a novella because I haven't really gotten any books that are under 250 pages. One. Oh, let's see what one is. I don't know what it says, but you guys do. Oh, The Black Farm. That is not a novella. That is an extreme horror, but it's one I'm excited to read. This is The Black Farm, and as far as I know, this is an extreme horror about another bleak, depressing one about a boyfriend and girlfriend, or a wife and a husband, where they decide that they can't handle life anymore and they kill themselves. And instead of passing away and either going to heaven or hell or nothing happens, or the reality that they are thrust into upon killing themselves is worse than anything they could have ever imagined in their real life dealing with, and they are also separated and they're being hunted by these pig creatures. I don't know exactly, but we're going to give this a shot and see if it's for me. It's definitely not a novella. This one is a little over 300 pages, so not crazy long or anything, but I just haven't read any novellas yet, and this is the 4th day out of 7, so I also would like to read Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep before I meet Paul Tremblay. We shall see. Happy 4th day of Summerween. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes. Happy 4th day of Summerween. I have my shirt from a few years ago on today. This was the first year I participated in Summerween. That was 3 years ago. I guess the 7th year. I thought it was the 6th year, but I was leaving out a year. Up 7 years. That's pretty awesome. Today the plan is to sit here this morning and read as much Black Farm as I possibly can. I am now almost 50 pages into this. I read a little bit of this morning. I only was able to read like 12 pages last night before I started getting too sleepy. Not to mention, it's probably not the best book to be reading before bed. This is supposed to be a bit more extreme. I'm not finding it to be too bad so far, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up going. There's my ghosty bookmark. I love him so much. Anyways, this is about a couple have been through some really rough times lately. They've just been experiencing one blow after the next. The woman had a miscarriage. It says, "They say time heals all, but not for us. I kept waiting for things to get easier, kept waiting for life to show its beautiful color again, but it hadn't. Each day took us one step closer to where we find ourselves now. 3 months after miscarrying my father had died in a drunk car driving accident. 2 months later, I lost my job. 3 months later, I got an eviction notice. Our lives were crumbling before our very eyes, and events seemed to be spiraling out of control to an extent to where I thought I was going mad." So yeah, so they've just been experiencing one blow after the next. Jess is in a deep depression. He's in a deep depression. And then on top of it, Jess's younger sister was diagnosed with terminal cancer at the age of 24. So they decide to both commit suicide, give up on this life, and hope that there is nothing after this. They both don't believe there is an afterlife. Unfortunately for them, after they commit suicide, they learn differently that there is an afterlife, and unfortunately for suicidals, as they call them in here, they are sent to the Black Farm, which isn't heaven or hell, but somewhere in between. And one of the characters in here says, they say hell is worse, but not by much. So our main character, Nick, he dies and then wakes up. He has a chain around his neck, and he's being dragged by this creature with no bottom of his face. He has like no jaw. It's like, picture the clown from American Horror Story when he takes off his mask, right? And he has like no jaw at the bottom, and he's just dragging him along. Then he gets chained up in this room, and this giant slug comes, and he's attached to like another dead guy, but is also living. Then the slug tries to suffocate him, and he has to eat the slug and swallow it to attack it and get it to go away. So yeah, it's a very squelchy start to the book. I am really liking it though. I'm liking how just getting bits and pieces of this world and what it is and the rules, and the visuals are really great. There's this one part where it talks about all these people chained up to these giant Goliath monoliths in this ocean, and they're just chained there and screaming. And it reminds me a lot of like What Dreams May Come and like Supernatural, the hell that's depicted in there. So they're in this hellscape, but they're not together. So Nick is given a choice by the I don't know, initiator of this world. And he tells them, this is the Black Farm. This is where suicidals go after they die. God and the devil couldn't agree on where to put you guys. So they decided to send you here, and they left the pig in charge. And the pig is the god of this world. He's created these pig-born creatures that go around torturing and killing over and over and over again the suicidals of the Black Farm. So he has a choice. He can feed the pig, let the pig god devour him, and depending on how he tastes, he'll either be sent to hell or he'll be sent back down to earth to give another shot. But if he doesn't, then he's just going to be tortured by the pig-born people for eternity and keep dying over and over and over again. But he's not with his girlfriend, so he decides that he needs to find her. He can't feed the pig. So that's where we are at now. He's meeting lots of different pig-born and suicidals, as they call them here. One of the pig-born calls them sky sludge instead of suicidals because they fall from these grotesque looking openings in the sky, and then the reapers come down and drag them off to their rooms to be initiated or orientated into the Black Farm. I'm sure it'll get grosser, but the beginning part was, it kicks off really fast. I mean, you have a few pages of describing why they're doing what they're doing. They kill themselves, and then he's immediately thrown into this situation. The descriptions are pretty gross so far. Like I said, they're pretty squelchy, if you will. Squelchy and oozy and gross. It's always raining here. It's always dark, but I'm looking forward to seeing this whole world that they are thrust into. One of the pig-borns that doesn't kill him because he's too small, and he's like, why would I kill and torture you? I'm small. You'd probably kill me. He says, yeah, sky sludge. That's where you all come from. The red drool in the clouds, you drip out of it and fall to the ground. Then the reapers come and bring you to Danny. And then it also talks about how, he killed himself, and why he's looking for his girlfriend at this point. He says, listen, you little shit, if you think I'm going to give up on her, then you are sadly mistaken. The boy seemed unaffected by my outburst. He didn't struggle as he leaned into me. Haven't you already, though? Isn't that why you're here? And I'm like, that's a good point. So it's like, why is he fighting so hard for his girlfriend when he didn't fight so hard for her and each of them to live in life? So yeah, I'm enjoying this so far, like I said, and I think based on the first 50 pages, this is really going to be for me, but we'll see. I read American Psycho, and there were parts of that were a little bit too much for me, so we'll see where this goes. It does seem to have something to say, and in the first 50 pages, I found myself smiling and giggling a little at the grossness, but also just some of the creatures talking to him and things. It seems to have a little bit of a humor to it, so maybe it won't be as bleak as I thought, but we shall see. I do enjoy a bleak book, but I've just been reading a lot of them lately, so I could use something a little bit lighter, but the TBR ghosts have not been kind to me as far as that goes. So yes, I'm going to sit here and read for as long as I can. I do have plans later with my mom. We're going to go shopping. She wants to go see if she could find some shoes because she's going on a 3-week cruise to like Scandinavian area, so cooler areas, but she wants to find some shoes to bring, I guess. So we're going to go shopping with my daughter, and we're going to go to the outlet stores. I kind of want to go to like Home Goods or something to see if there's any ghosty Halloween stuff out now that it's post 4th of July, but I might wait a few days to do that because I'm sure it'll take them a little while to get those things out. Anyway, I will see you later when I have something else to say.
Racing my own thoughts into the silence, seeking the guidance I forgot. It's somewhere lost.
Hopelessness, pain. They weren't just words anymore. They were all I knew. They filled every crack of me, poured down my throat, drowned me in their cold, unflinching assault. I didn't have the strength to feel sorry for myself. I didn't have the energy to dissect each thought. I just lay bound in barbed wire and listened to the screams inside my head. Yeah, this is pretty extreme in my opinion. It's not pushing over the edge of what I can handle yet, but we will see. I am not affected too much by gore and torture and grossness, but it depends. It depends. I don't know. This is gross, but not in a way that's bothering me so far. So we'll see. But yes, torture, dismemberment, assault, rape. He gets his eyelids cut off, which is probably the least severe thing that has happened to him so far. Anyways, as long as there's a storyline, it's not just torture, I am intrigued and interested still. So I'm only on page 66 though. Only 16 pages since we last spoke. Monster Halloween cinnamon roll for Summerween, since that's one of the prompts. Lighting's not great in here, but it's very rainy out. Let's try it. Very good. Very festive. Very good. Should go play clothes. Jawbreaker. Oh my gosh. So I am on page 111 of The Black Farm now, and I have to say the scenes with Mush, there's a character named Mush, were pretty gnarly and pretty bad, and on the cusp of things that I can handle, but not, it shouldn't cross over for me into the arena where I can't handle it. But obviously all the trigger warnings for this book. Once that situation ends, we are getting more of exploration of this black farm that they're in, different characters, different plot points, and he's still looking for his girlfriend. And I'm appreciating that. I'm really liking that exploration. He is thinking about who he was in life and his mistakes and what he did wrong, and why he would let them end their lives like this if he really cared about each other. And he's examining like why he wants to find Jess when he didn't do what he should have done in life, as far as like her depression and sadness and all the things that were happening. You know, whether right or wrong, you know, he couldn't or wouldn't support her when she was going through a rough time. They were both going through a rough time, but he is feeling guilty for not being there for her, even though, you know, he wasn't in the state to be there for her. He is just trying to figure out this place out, and if there is a way to outsmart it or beat it. And he has an axe on the cover, and he has found the axe, so I'm glad he has a weapon at the moment anyway. He's met some more suicidals, he's met some more pigborn, And yeah, I'm interested to see where this is going. I'm only about a third of the way through, so I gotta get reading. But I did go shopping with my daughter and my mom, and I just got some plain shirts. This is nothing very exciting. Just got like a comfy blue, kind of like a steely purple t-shirt. I really like a steely purple color. And this was on sale at the Loft, and I thought it was kind of fun. So suns on it. I wasn't sure about it, but it was like on super clearance. So I'm like, we'll try it. I also got a Pango order in, so I figured I would do a little Pango unboxing. I apologize for the state of the lighting in here. It is raining. So the reason I placed this order was to get Peach Pit, 16 Stories of Unsavory Women, because this is Allie's book club book for her Patreon this month. So I wanted to grab this. This is a stunning anthology of fierce, dangerous women, but I've heard these are weird, so I'm interested to read them. The first one is called Fuckboy Museum. And then because she had some good books and I love a free shipping moment, I grabbed Young Mungo. These are in great shape too, like new, great shape. So happy to have gotten Young Mungo because I want to read this. What else is in here? 19 Claws and a Blackbird. I have read everything else from Augustina Bastrica, so I did want to read this at some point, and I own the other two, and I did enjoy Tender as the Flesh. Gave that 4.5, 5 stars, and then I actually really liked her other one as well, and now I can't remember what the name of it is, but I love that one too. I grabbed This One Was Once Mine and Other Disturbances, which is a proof, but that's okay. I don't own this one, so I grabbed that. That one's by Eric LaRocca, and then this is Where We Talk Things Out. I wanted this version of it, and I read this on Kindle Unlimited and loved it, so now I have a copy. And then I also grabbed, what is it? I was able to find for a really reasonable price the original Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. This is the original cover. I have the bind up, but I wanted this one if I could find it for a reasonable price. And this was a reasonable price. It is annotated and highlighted and things, but that's totally fine. I think that's why it was so cheap. I don't mind that at all. It's kind of fun to have a book that has been annotated by somebody. It'll be interesting to see what exactly the person that had this before me thinks of it, and I can, when I reread this. It's my little Pango book haul. The seller also sent me this little sticker, which is super cute. I like that one a lot. And this one, just says Pango Books on it, but that's cute too. Love a sticker. It's about 4:30 now, so the plan for the rest of the day is just to feed the children at some point and try to read. I am on sprints with Heather, so that's fun. I've only been able to catch the tail end of them though since we were out.
Can't let it go. Baby, it's a losing game, and I know.
I will say one thing that I'm bothered by in this book so far is that like 3 of the bad guys so far have been described as like grotesquely fat and obese and disgusting, like described in a way that, they're like all sweaty and slobbery and dirty and gross and obese and the biggest man he's ever seen, etc., etc. And it's like, can we use something else to describe them? Are you gonna make all the bad guys be disgustingly globs of fat as what you said in this book? Like, it's reading a little fat phobic. All these evil people are big and described in a unflattering way as overweight individuals. I don't know, maybe that's a little sensitive of me, but it's just like, I feel like there are other ways you can make someone look who's evil, like, skeletal or oozing pustules, or picking and eating their own scabs. Like, there's lots of things you can make to make someone evil be disgusting without making every single one of them fat. I don't know. It's not my favorite. Like, one character, sure, but like everyone so far, Bugging me a little bit. I am on chapter 9 of The Black Farm now, so almost about halfway through. I need to make dinner. We're just going to do grilled chicken and salad tonight. This is just lettuce. I haven't made the salad yet because we ate so heavily yesterday when it came to going out to dinner for my son's birthday. So yeah, I am on page 145. I'm still really liking this. The descriptions are gross, but I'm really liking it. I think it's well paced in the way that, yeah, you get a torture scene, but then you get a little breather. I mean, there's still awful, horrific things going on, but it's not. Like, for me personally, like, it's the torture stuff that I need a break from. So I'm glad this does provide that for the reader. And there's like world building and stuff. And I think it's really well fleshed out and really like fun to read and get interested. It's almost like the first book in a fantasy series, which I know there is actually a sequel to this that came out recently, because you're just getting a lot of world building and like discovery of how this place works and what's going on, and I'm really enjoying that. We just ran into another character that also has mounds and folds of flesh that is a bad guy, and so that again is kind of annoying. I don't understand why they all have to be described that way. It seems to be a pattern. However, I'm still really liking this book quite a bit. I'm just fascinated by everything going on in here. Nick, was tortured at one point already, and so he's talking about losing his humanity, the fact that he can kill without consequence in this realm. People are just going to come back. There's no consequences for anything he does other than, getting caught and being tortured by the pig born again. There's a cult in here that we're getting information about now, and I'm liking that. They worship the pig god, but they're all suicidals. What is the quote I pointed out? It says, "Men with self-created purpose is a dangerous thing, and I felt its jaws all around me." So yeah, that the cult is an all-male cult. So yeah, not good. I find that quote has been very, very true. And then there's also like these blinking lights on the top of a mountain that we don't know what they are, and everyone's telling him to not ask about them, don't talk about them. So I'm wondering what that is. So yeah, like good world building. I'm enjoying it. The audiobook was available through my library on Hoopla, or one of my libraries on Hoopla. So I haven't run out of credits yet. I'm assuming I'm going to eventually this month if I keep going at this rate. I didn't realize that the audiobook has a lot of background noises. There's like rain, which is cool, but there's also like when like the axe is swinging, and there's also like squelchy noises. So that's interesting to be doing while I'm making dinner. So far, I'm actually surprised at how much detail they put into the audiobook. I wasn't expecting that at all. So I'm gonna make dinner, and I'll let you know when I have something else to say. I'm hoping to finish this tonight. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I still have halfway to go. I am on chapter 14 of The Black Farm. I'm really liking this. We just passed the really action-packed scene. I thought it was really well done. This is definitely not just gory torture squelchiness. There's some substance to it and some action to it, and just very well written in my opinion. It definitely got my heart beating faster, and the gross torture stuff that happened in the beginning makes you even more nervous because of experiencing that with Nick. And yeah, so I'm really still enjoying this. I think this is worth a read if you can get past the first bit. I'm still worried. I'm sure it can't possibly end well, can it? Anyways, I am almost done with this. It's now 7:30, so I should be able to finish this up today on page 239, and it's about 300 pages, so we're gonna try. It is the end of Summerween day 4. I have finished The Black Farm. I did it, everyone. I kind of love this, actually. I think I'm gonna give it 5 stars. There was that one thing that bothered me, and so like maybe that could bring it down a little bit for me. But honestly, the last 75% of this book I found very fun and exciting and disgusting and squelchy and squirmy and gross. And yeah, I had a good time with it. I definitely laughed at inappropriate times. If this was a movie, there's no way I could handle it at all. Not even a little bit. Unless it was like campy horror. Unless they made it like so outlandishly ridiculous that it made me laugh. But like, yeah, I like the world building in here. I like where it went. I liked how different it was. I've never really read anything like this before. I liked that it was splatterpunky and extreme enough to like kind of push the boundaries a little bit, but not so much that I couldn't handle it or found it gratuitous. I would say American Psycho is more graphic and disgusting and gratuitous than this one. I really liked this one. If you can get past the mush scene, that he's a character in this book, if you can get past that, it's all downhill from there, in my opinion, when it comes to the torture aspect in here. The ending gets a little crazy, but at the same time, I loved it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. And I liked how this actually had other things to say about the meaning of life and love, and that, you know, the meaning of life is love and the relationships you have with other people and what you do for other people. I really liked this one. There's one thing I wanted to say. Let me see if I can find the quotes. If not, I'll just end it. A woman, of course, it was a woman. Who else would ignite such fierce will in a man's heart? Love is a powerful thing, is it not? It can build us up and tear us down with the force of 1,000 suns. It is an elusive idea and a fantasy that so many strive their whole lives to feel, while others are left devastated by the ruin it can leave in its wake. Love is both good and evil. It is the antidote to the poison of your entire species. And you know what's funny about it? I stared at him unblinkingly. You can't feel love. You can't see it. You can't taste it. You can't hold it in your hands. You can't buy it and you can't sell it. Love is an idea that has to grow in an individual's mind, fertilized and cared for with great tenderness. For a race obsessed with material objects, isn't it funny that the most desired possession of the human heart is love? How sentimental. How poignant and thoughtful. In contrast to the rest of this book. Anyways, that is the last thing I have to say for this day 4 of Summerween. I hope you enjoyed this vlog and my experience reading a more extreme horror book. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment down below. If you made it this far in the video, put a pig in the comments for the pig born and the pig god in this book. Anyway, see you later. Bye.